Is it possible the Stone Age still exists in the 21st century? To find out, I went to the vast sun-scorched plains of Tanzania to see if I could live with the Hadzabe, one of the last true hunter-gatherer tribes on Earth. They don't plant crops, they don't live in permanent houses, and they don't have calendars. They live entirely off the land using knowledge passed down for tens of thousands of years. I wanted to see if their ancient way of life could survive our modern world. I wanted to understand what we've forgotten. Getting to Hadzabe land is a journey back in time. It starts where the paved roads end, leaving the hum of the city behind and pushing deep into the Great Rift Valley, near the shores of Lake Eyasi. With every kilometer, the landscape feels more and more primal. Giant baobab trees, looking ancient and wise, stand like sentinels guarding a world that time forgot. My guide, Joseph, has been a bridge between his world and the Hadzabe for years. Without him, this would be impossible. There are no road signs out here, no addresses. The Hadzabe are semi-nomadic, moving their camps with the seasons, following the food and water. You don't just find them, you have to be led. After hours on a bone-jarring dirt track, we arrive. There are no gates, no formal welcome. We just pull up to a clearing, and there they are. A small community of about 20 people. A few are gathered around a small, smoky fire. Kids watch us, curious but cautious. Their homes are simple, temporary shelters of woven grass and branches. In the dry season, many just sleep out under the stars. The air is filled with the sound of their language, a unique tongue full of clicks and soft sounds that is a language isolate, related to no other on Earth. It feels less like I've arrived at a village and more like I've stumbled upon a family campsite that's been here for millennia. The Hadzabe day starts with the Sunday no alarms, just the slow brightening of the eastern sky. The camp comes to life with a quiet purpose, with roles honed by countless generations. The men gather their bows and arrows for the hunt. The women and children get ready to forage. I watch, completely mesmerized, as a hunter named Jem gets his arrows ready. These aren't just sticks, they're masterpieces of natural engineering. He straightens the shafts meticulously. The arrowheads are hammered metal, one of their few modern tools, but the real secret is the poison. It's a thick, black paste made from boiling the sap of the desert rose shrub, a potent neurotoxin that can bring down an animal many times the size of a man. This isn't for sport, it's about survival. Every single arrow has to count. While the men melt into the bush, I join the women on their gathering trip. Their knowledge is a living encyclopedia. They read the landscape as they move, pointing out which berries are sweet, which roots are toxic, and which plants are medicine. Using simple, fire-hardened digging sticks, they unearth huge tubers, a staple of their diet that provides vital carbs. The kids learn by doing, tasting what their mothers give them and helping to dig. This is their school, and the curriculum is survival. In just a couple of hours, their baskets are full. They've gathered a huge part of the day's food with what looks like effortless skill. Later, it's a true privilege to be invited to join the men on a hunt. This is the heart of the Hadzabe world. We move through the bush with a speed and silence that's humbling. I feel like I'm crashing through every branch and stumbling over every rock while they just glide their bare feet, seeming to know the earth by heart. Their senses are tuned to a frequency I can't even begin to perceive. A bent twig, a faint track in the dust, a distant bird call, it all means something. They are in a constant state of total awareness, scanning the trees for baboons, their favorite prey, and the ground for anything smaller. Suddenly, they freeze. One of them points. High in a baobab tree, a troop of monkeys. The whole energy shifts. The playful chatter from before is gone, replaced by an intense, shared focus. In one fluid motion, bows are raised. You hear the soft thwip of arrows flying. One finds its mark. But the work isn't over. The poison doesn't kill right away. Now, the second phase begins, the tracking. The hunter who made the shot follows the animal in a relentless pursuit that can last for hours. There's no wasted energy, just a steady, patient pace. It's a profound display of skill and endurance. When the animal is finally found, it's handled with a sense of respect. Nothing will be wasted. Witnessing this raw, unfiltered process of survival is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It connects you to something ancient inside yourself. If you find this journey as powerful as I do, and you want to see more stories that explore these deep connections between humanity and nature, please take a moment to subscribe. Your support is what makes these expeditions possible. We get back to camp just as the sun dips below the horizon. A successful hunt brings a quiet, celebratory energy. The fire, the heart of the camp, is built up. There are no matches here. A man takes a wooden stick, spins it rapidly in a notch on a piece of softwood, and within minutes, a wisp of smoke appears. He gently blows it into a glowing ember and then into a flame. The butchering and cooking is a group effort. The meat is roasted right over the open flames, filling the air with a primal, delicious smell. Pieces are cut and passed around. Sharing is a fundamental rule here. The hunter doesn't own his kill. The community does. I'm offered a piece. It's smoky, lean, and tastes like nothing I've ever had before. It tastes of the wild. The women prepare the tubers they gathered, roasting them in the hot ashes until they're soft. They even crack open hard baobab fruit shells, mixing the chalky, vitamin-rich pulp with water to make a tangy drink. As total darkness falls, the whole community gathers around the fire. This is their living room, their television, their social media. They share stories, laugh, and sing under a brilliant canopy of 1 billion stars. It's a simple, powerful scene of human connection. Living with the Hadzabe, you realize their wealth isn't in what they own, but in what they know. They have a deep, almost spiritual connection to their environment. Their society is completely egalitarian, no official chiefs or leaders. Decisions are made together, and everyone has a voice. But this ancient world is becoming incredibly fragile. The land they have roamed for thousands of years has shrunk by as much as 90% in just the last 50 years. They're being squeezed by encroaching farms, herds of cattle, and even conservation areas that limit their right to hunt. Climate change is making the seasons unpredictable and resources harder to find. The attention from the outside world brings both help and harm. Tourism can provide much-needed money, but it also risks turning their culture into a performance, creating dependency and eroding the self-reliance that defines them. They are a living link to our shared human past, but the pressures of the 21st century are closing in fast. Despite it all, they show incredible resilience. With help from organizations, some Hadzabe communities have secured legal rights to their land and are earning income through carbon credit programs, which pay them to protect their forests. They are fighting to find a balance to keep their culture alive in a world that's changing at lightning speed. So, back to my original question. Does the Stone Age still exist? Well, it's not a simple yes or no. When you see their skills, their social structure, their incredible connection to nature in those moments, the Stone Age is vibrantly alive. They are living proof of a way of being human that sustained all of us for 99% of our history. But the modern world is here. I've seen them using plastic buckets and wearing donated t-shirts. They trade honey for the metal arrowheads and medicine they need. They aren't a people frozen in time, they are a resourceful culture adapting to overwhelming change. Maybe the point isn't that they're living in the past, but that they are living differently in the present. They remind us that this frantic, possession-obsessed world most of us live in isn't the only way. They show us that real wealth might actually be found in community and skill and in a deep, respectful harmony with the natural world. Leaving their camp, I feel a sense of loss, not for them, but for us. For the knowledge we've let go, the connection we've broken. The Hadzabe don't just show us how our ancestors lived. They challenge us to think about how we live today. Their story isn't a relic of the past, but a vital, living lesson for our future.